and welcome to Tiny Teatime Tales. Have you got a tail? If you've got a tail, are you sitting on it?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Welcome to Tiny Tales at Tea Time. Today, Hannah is going to be reading us the story about Jairus' daughter. I wonder if you know that story or you've heard it before.
I don't know. Do you know what happens in it?
Well, I could tell you, but that would be spoiling the story, wouldn't it? Shall we sit back and listen and watch the story of Jairus' daughter? Thank you, Hannah.
A little girl and a poor frail lady. There was once a little girl who didn't get out of bed one morning, or the next. In fact, she didn't get out of bed for a whole month. She was very sick and no one knew how to make her better. Jairus was her daddy and he loved her. One day he was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, wishing there was something he could... I know, he said. He jumped to his feet, put on his coat, kissed his daughter, ran down the steps, past the servants, out of the house, through the gates, along the road, into the town, up the steps, and into the temple. He fought his way through all the people until at last he found who he was looking for. Jesus, he said, falling at Jesus' feet. My daughter, he pleaded, please. But he didn't need to beg, because before he'd even finished speaking, Jesus reached out his hand and helped him up. I'll come at once, Jesus said. Jairus' eyes filled with tears. Jesus was coming. It would be all right. In those days, of course, they didn't have ambulances, so they had to go by foot. Jesus' helpers knew that he would heal the sick girl, but they must hurry. If Jesus didn't get there soon, it would be too late. Everyone was in the way, hustling and bustling, jostling and pressing, pushing and shoving, squishing and squashing. The disciples ran ahead, forcing back the crowd. Suddenly, Jesus stopped. His friends looked back. What was he doing? Who touched me? Jesus asked, because he felt power go out of him. Me, said a frail lady, looking down at the ground because she was ashamed. The poor lady had been sick for 12 years and she had to get well. She knew if she only touched Jesus' coat, she would be healed. So she touched his coat and instantly she was well. We don't have time, Jesus' friends said. But Jesus always had time. He reached out his hands and gently lifted her head. He looked into her eyes and smiled. You believed, he said, wiping a tear from her eye, and now you are well. Just then, Jairus' servant rushed up to Jairus. It's too late, he said breathlessly. Your daughter is dead. Jesus turned to Jairus. It's not too late, Jesus said. Trust me. At Jairus' house, everyone was crying, but Jesus said, I'm going to wake her up. Everyone laughed at him because they knew she was dead. Jesus walked into the little girl's bedroom, and there, lying in the corner, in the shadows, was the still little figure. Jesus sat on the bed and took her pale hand. Honey, he said, it's time to get up. And he reached down into death and gently brought the little girl back to life. The little girl woke up, rubbed her eyes as if she'd just had a good night's sleep, and leapt out of bed. Jesus threw open the shutters and sunlight flooded the dark room. Hungry? Jesus asked. She nodded. Jesus called to her family, bring this little girl some breakfast. Jesus helped and healed many people like this. He made blind people see. He made deaf people hear. He made lame people walk. Jesus was making the sad things come untrue. He was mending God's broken world.
It's a fascinating story, isn't it? I wonder what questions it raises for you. I wonder what you liked about the story. I wonder which character you identified with. If you were going to act it out, how would you act it out? And what does this story tell us about Jesus?
I think it tells us that he loves us and that he cares for us very deeply.
I think that is one of the things that it says, yeah. Maybe you could talk with your mum or dad or whoever watched it with you about what it what you think it says about Jesus. I'm going to pray, and then we're going to listen to or join in with a song. Jesus, we thank you for this story. We thank you for your love for us. May we know that we are a child of God. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for watching Tiny Tales at Tea Time. I hope that your tiny tail is okay and that you enjoy your tea. And if you're going back to school next week, good luck. And if today was your last day of homeschool, yippee! And if you've got some more next week, I'm really sorry. Bye.
You pop the freckles on my face, and all the fish that swim and all the birds that fly were made from your incredible imagination. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. Stripes on every bee, and all the grass that grows and all the leaves that fall, part of your amazing plans for this creation. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. A heart in everyone, and all the music played and all the dancing done reminds us that we're made to be creative like Creator God. We're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God.